Cowboys fans. This is what you've been looking for. A show discussing the team you love without all the fluff and BS. Host Greg Rector, along with Cowboys writers and content creators from across the country, break it down. This isn't the same old, same old. This is the blue and silver breakdown. How about them Cowboys?
Yeah, how about those Cowboys out of the playoffs? They get beaten by the New York Giants today, 34-17. Mr. Prescott's 14-game winning streak against the Midgets comes to an end. And I really pray that Matt Eberflus is fired tonight, tomorrow, whatever day it happens. It was an ugly, ugly performance by this defense yet again. Yeah, horrible. We saw Javonte Blue and Phil Maffa play running back today. Both of them did quite well. So does Javonte Williams need to come back? We'll see what happens in that case. George Pickens needs to be re-signed. That is an obvious case. They need to re-sign Mr. Pickens. And don't give us this BS that deadlines make good deals, Jerry. Get this over and done with quickly. Same thing applies to the players that you're going to cut before June 1st, and announce those two June 1st cuts as quickly as possible as well. Let's just get this thing moving. This needs to happen. Don't waste time like Steven always wants you to. Don't do that. This needs to happen now. There is no need at all for the Cowboys to sit and wait. So if you're going to cut Donovan Wilson, cut the guy. Terrence Steele, cut the guy. Everybody that you're going to cut, get these guys out of that building. And yes, Matt Eberflus needs to go. Unfortunately, the Carolina Panthers made the NFC South because the Falcons beat the Saints today. So welcome to the playoffs there, Carolina, via the back door. Does Todd Bowles stay in Tampa Bay? If Todd Bowles becomes available, there's your DC choice. I just don't see Brian Flores with the dollars that he would demand that Jerry would go for that, but we'll see what happens there. It's going to be a very interesting offseason for this Cowboys team. Once, of course, Dak was pulled at halftime, I knew he wouldn't be the NFL passing leader. But hey, he still had a very good season for the Cowboys, obviously. And we don't have to see the gap-toothed moron Strahan being the sacks leader anymore. Myles Garrett got that job done today against Cincinnati as the Browns beat the Bengals. 7-8-1 or 7-9-1. What an ugly season, and really it all goes to Matt Eberflus's defense. This group was so awful. It was just horrifying. And again, to see the way that Eberflus insists on using a cover 2. Do you not know what a cover 4 or a cover 6 is? Anything outside of just the cover 2. But no, he stuck to his guns, and the Cowboys end up losing yet again. That guy just has to go, and the rest of the defensive coaches, I would say so long to most of them as well. If Todd Bowles does get fired, he's my DC number 1. Bottom line. The Cowboys definitely need assistance in the NFL draft, but before the NFL draft happens, you need to be in free agency. This is why I want this thing done. I want those cuts made now. I don't care about anything other than free agency currently, because you have guys available who can come into those spots that are needed. Mekhi Blackman, Colts corner. He could be signed for like $3-4 million a year, Andrew Wiley, a right tackle for the Commanders, who is not getting any playing time any longer because they've got younger players. Well, guess what? There's your new right tackle, and again, you've got Nate Thomas as your backup. Boom. Tyler Guyton will come back and play left tackle. There you have it. But you need to be ready to go when free agency begins. You don't need to wait and sign these guys at the tail end, blah, 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 as they've always been doing. The Cowboys, 30 straight years without an NFC title game, let alone the Super Bowl, because we all know that what happened 30 years ago, they won it. But that streak has to come to an end. And if Jerry realizes this, like he says, he's willing to change. Well, this is the time to make those changes, Jerry. Do not listen to Stephen Jones. Do not listen to that guy. Why you insist on listening to him when it comes to the finances of this team is beyond me. Howie Roseman just shovels off the money down the line. Guess what? The Eagles are winning the NFC East consecutive years. This is what you need to do. You move Dak's money down, blah blah blah. You move CeeDee Lamb. You move Tyler Smith's money. Oh my goodness, you got $100 million to play with after getting rid of the other guys that I mentioned as well. So yeah, you can make an impact on this team before the NFL draft. That's what needs to happen. That is the bottom line of all of this is, Jerry, you have to make these things happen, and you don't need to wait. Deadlines making deals. Yeah, I love that. It has to happen. Yes, it mercifully arrived for Cowboys Nation. It was an ugly game to begin with, and the Giants played very well. Bottom line of this, of course, the Cowboys defense, they didn't do very much. Again, I believe this Cowboys defense. Let's just see here. Yeah, they were just horrible. Let's just leave it at that. We'll go into the actual stats and all that other stuff later on. But again, the Cowboys need to make these moves quickly. They don't need to wait. If you wait, you end up with lesser talent. The Cowboys need real talent. They need a new right tackle. Terrence Steele is not it. They could use another tight end because Jake Ferguson doesn't block very well. Griffin Spanforn does. But again, Schoonmaker, he doesn't do much for you. So again, if there's a free agent tight end out there, somebody who can assist blocking, and most notably on the right-hand side, those things need to happen. Joe Milton did fairly decently today. He, of course, we can't really say much about Joe Milton because he didn't play with the actual starters and all that other jazz. So don't panic about Joe Milton. But Maffa and Jadon Blue both had decent runs. The offense doesn't scare me. It's this defense. This defense absolutely frightens me. So if we do go to the NFL draft here, let's just see. Let's just see where the NFL current draft sits. Yeah. Okay. So obviously, with the Giants' victory today, they're going to fall down. The Jets will lose to the Patriots. The Titans lost. Arizona is going to get pounded by the Rams. Cleveland ends up moving down because they're 5-12. Um, the Redskins will end up being 4-13 because Philadelphia will destroy them. The Saints end up with 6-11. KC most likely ends up 6-11, as does Cincinnati. The Rams pick with the Falcons. That is going to be, let's see here. Yeah, we could actually move up to the 12th pick because the Falcons won today. And then, of course, our second pick is going to depend on tonight because Green Bay lost. If the Steelers lose, Green Bay moves up to the 20th pick, which would put the Cowboys at 20. So again, the Cowboys do have many options available to them. They need to act quickly. Do not sit and wait. You need to phone other football teams. It drives me crazy how the Cowboys have this sense that if they make a call, they've lost a deal. It's stupid. No, you need to speak with other teams. Again, when it does come to the NFL draft, once free agency has come to an end, you get an offer from somebody down low that gets you a second and a third round pick, you jump on it. You jump on that. You go down in the first round, that's fine and dandy. But currently, if they end up being the 12th pick, yeah, that's GM Jerry. I do deals when the other teams make the initial appeal. That's just how I feel. GM Jerry needs to get on the phone himself. That's the bottom line of all of this. The trading down would generally be a better with the first pick. But again, who knows what happens with the 20th pick if that's where they end up with as well. If not the 21st pick, you could continue to deal down and get more players to come into this team. If I was picking currently with the 12th pick and Jeremiah Love is sitting there, he's going to be a Dallas Cowboy. Bottom line. So if the Saints or the Chiefs don't pick him, he comes to Dallas, you have a real running back. A real running back. A guy that can also be very good with the ball in the air. If not, I'm taking Sonny Styles because Lord, oh Lord, does this linebacking group need assistance. And then, of course, with the second pick, I would take Brandon Cece, the cornerback out of South Carolina. Then again, if they address the cornerback need in free agency, then I would move to an edge player. And I don't need everybody. Edge is a nice position, but however, this year's draft class has got a very strange bunch of them. Now, Donovan Ezra-Rucker got kicked out today. That's fine and dandy. I mean, these things happen in football games. But again, once he has this full season under his belt and he gets a better coach, he can be like he was at Boston College. He can attack quarterbacks a lot more than what we saw this year. If you need another true edge rusher, okay, you could still get them. Again, if you make a deal further down in the draft, perfect. Okay, there you have the spot to take your edge rusher as well. But again, the Cowboys need to act quickly. They cannot be the typical, oh, well, nothing's going to happen on the first day of free agency because Jerry and Steven are on the boat. No, I don't care about the boat trip. I need you boys doing your job. That is what needs to happen this year. It really does need to happen. Jadeveon Clowney needs to be re-signed. The guy was just phenomenal again today. So again, give him another 1-year deal. You know, but again, the biggest thing that needs to happen for the Dallas Cowboys is that Matt Eberflus must be fired. He must be fired. And again, when it does come to this draft, please, Coach Schottenheimer, keep your coaches out of those rooms. Yes, you can be consulted on who the scout will like. You can say what you feel about certain requirements that your defensive coordinator has. That's all fine and dandy. But let the scouts make the picks. Do not get involved in that. You are NFL head coaches. Your evaluation skills are limited. Limited. Look at what the guys that Dan Quinn brought in. Mozzie Smith. Nahshon Wright. Oh, who's playing very well for the Bears. But, Kelvin Joseph. Those guys were all Dan Quinn guys. None of them are around. None of them. So again, don't let those coaches interfere in the scouting process. It's gonna be a very interesting offseason for the Cowboys. I really, really hope that Jerry Jones does the right thing. So Jerry, if you do see this, act quickly. Get Mulugata into the room. Get George Pickens re-signed. Bottom line, do not wait. Period. There's no need to. There is zero need to wait. It just makes zero sense for the Cowboys to sit back like they have for years and years and years. No, you have trades for guys that could help. You have free agency, and you need to act quickly. Because then your scouts have all this time to find the right guys in the NFL draft. Now the Cowboys finishing 7-9-1 was something that I did not see coming this year. Nor was the Washington Commanders' complete collapse either. I actually did not have the Eagles winning this division. I said the Commanders would. The Eagles, Howie pulled it off again. He just does what he does. Added more bodies. The defense is now playing very well, whereas early in the year they were shaky. But again, Jerry, he found Quinnen Williams. There you go. Oh, and Kenny Clark, he needs to be cut and re-signed to a much lower deal because $21 million a season next year is way too high for him. But again, Jerry must act quickly. Yeah. Well, guess what? If the Cowboys actually acted early, he'll get attention. It doesn't matter the day, the time of the day either. If Jerry does something, the ESPN crowd reacts, obviously. So again, the Cowboys do need to be very quick on the draw this year. You just cut those guys, get rid of them, get them out of that building, get rid of Matt Eberflus and his coaches. It just needs a complete rehaul. And then you need a guy like Todd Bowles or somebody else, whoever is on that list, who doesn't know Jerry Jones. That's been the problem. Is Jerry likes to hire people he knows. Well, this time, Jerry, find somebody outside of this organization and you give them a solid 3 year commitment. You must give that person a 3 year commitment. That way, we don't have the change happening over and over and over again either. Um, the Cowboys need this offseason to work because, again, Dak Prescott had a fantastic year. CeeDee Lamb was outstanding, as was Pickens, as was Javonte Williams. We saw again today, this team can run the football. Oh, it's amazing what happens when you don't call just nothing but A gap runs. Ugh. Um, Again, if this Cowboys team acts quickly, they will be in a much better spot by the time the NFL draft comes. And again, I'm not worried if the Cowboys trade down. I would kind of prefer it based on the talent level that's really out there. I only have 12 first round grades on players, just 12. So, that's not a whole lot. Most years you end up with 18 to 20. This year I've only got 12. Last year I only had 14, you know. Um, and that's, of course, outside of the quarterback position. Um, so, again, we'll see who does declare after the CFB playoffs are over and all that jazz. But again, um, yeah, I've only got 12 players currently with a first round grade outside of Fernando Mendoza and Dante Moore and, the typical quarterbacks who are going to go. So again, this Cowboys team, 30 years minus an NFC title. It's always been a horrifying mess. Um, Especially for somebody who is old enough like I am to be a fan since 1969, 20 years before JJ bought the team and all that good sort of stuff. When we were in 14 NFC championship games, 14 NFC title games, 8 Super Bowls. To see them not be competitive in any circumstance for the last 30 years of being there totally sucks. It completely sucks. So again, Jerry, you need to act quickly this year. You cannot use the same old tactics that you've used in the past. See if there is a trade out there for a right tackle. See if there is a deal out there for a cornerback or a safety. You have options, but get on the phone. Don't wait for the phone to ring for you. No, that's stupidity. That's what led to this 30 years of not even being close to being an NFC championship game, let alone the Super Bowl. So again, fire Matt Eberflus, cut those players quickly. Just get them out of the door. You don't want them anymore. You don't need them anymore. Goodbye. Sayonara. So again, folks, a 7-9-1 season just doesn't cut it for Cowboys Nation. It doesn't cut it here at the Blue and Silver Breakdown, that's for sure. But again, Jerry, you have to do things quickly. You must. It has to happen. If you don't act quickly, then you end up with the gutter. No, we don't need gutter players any longer. We need good, solid players. The Cowboys won 5 Super Bowl titles with Doomsday 1, Doomsday 2. And yes, those 3 teams in the 1990s all had excellent defenses as well, including the man who should be in Canton, Ohio. I'm sorry if you all love Jason Witten. Yeah, I like the guy as well. But if Darren Woodson's name is not called, it is just a nightmare. It's an absolute nightmare. If you ever watched Darren Woodson play the game and you saw him against Jerry Jones, the best wide receiver that ever lived, he shut down Jerry Jones as a safety. That's not supposed to happen. But again, yeah, the blue and silver breakdown here has been a fun program for me to do. We'll be back in the off season. And again, thank everybody for coming on to the program. My guests this year. I really want to thank Team MBS Media as well for giving me this platform. It's always a joy. Please do like and subscribe to the channel as well. In the link, you'll see a NFL Fanatics site that you can go to. Thank you, Eric. Again, the Dallas Cowboys have to do things quickly. They don't need to waste time. And with that being said, I want to thank everybody. Take care and enjoy the NFL playoffs.